Hello, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours with Arrow, a LinkedIn Live event hosted by Arrow leaders who care about what senior living looks like. I'm your host and producer, Rachel Sheehan. Our topic today is all about translating culture to prospective employees. With me today are Mandy, Chantal, and Stephanie. Welcome, ladies.
Huh?
So, starting with Stephanie, let's all introduce ourselves, kind of how you got into senior living, and then also tell me about the Arrow wear you're wearing today.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Hood, one of the regional directors of human resources with Arrow. I actually started in senior living when I was 17, so many moons ago, as a server. I absolutely loved connection building, and that pretty much has been the industry I've maintained ever since. I've been in the geriatric world and found my way to Arrow. It'll be 5 years in August. And one of my shirts that I'm wearing today actually kind of ties into our topic. So it's one of our themed shirts from our job fair 2 years ago. It's a nice, how can you say no to this? Nope, wrong direction. Boop. How can you say no to this space? This is one of our residents who live in a community in Ohio. I'll let the rest of the team go until I share that story with you later.
I love that. That's how I started too, Stephanie, as a server. I love it. Chantal, how about you?
Happy afternoon, everybody. I'm Chantal Harris Fuller in Ohio. I guess I'll start off with my shirts. I have one more than just a shirt because everybody knows I'm super extra anyway, right? So I have one, can you see me? There we go. Dedicated and loyal, because I am a dedicated and loyal team member of Arrow Senior Living. Plus, I have on our lovely, fabulous Arrow Senior Living jacket, blazer, excuse me. How did I get into senior living? I think I just have been in hospital and senior living back and forth for quite some time. And my specialty really has been human resources between the two, and had the opportunity to land myself here at Arrow Senior Living, that it is truly one of the great places to live and work.
I love it. And last but not least, Mandy.
Well, hello. I'm Mandy Wilkes, one of the regional directors of human resource at the Missouri market. I started senior living well over 20 years ago after I graduated college. I went to college, graduated with a degree in gerontology. Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, go back.
Yes, Rachel and I are fellow Ger Bears at Missouri State University. And I immediately went into senior living. I've been with Arrow for 9 years now. Love every minute of it. In those 20 plus years that I've been in senior living, I have primarily done the HR side of things, but I also have done the resident service side of things and social worker type things. My Arrow wear today is Let's Chuckle. This was a Christmas gift, I believe, 2 years ago for all Arrow team members. It's one of our core values. It's a great core value, but we all have like our own core value that touches us. But this is a great core value because we want to come to work. We want to have fun, because nobody wants to go to work for 8 to 12 hours a day and not have fun. So let's chuckle. Let's have fun together.
I love it. And we're going to have fun today. I'm so excited. So, Stephanie, tell me exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, so we're going to talk about how we showcase our culture in the senior living industry, from prospective employees that have an interest, or we're just going to kind of culture bomb them to make them have an interest in senior living, to our partnerships that we build out, and even continuing all of that through the employee experience. So it's not just at the forefront, it's going to be something they maintain all the way through when they're coming to our industry. For interviews, this is something we have had to continually evolve. I like to kind of speak to the foundation of our interview process. So we live in a tech era. We used to, back in the day, always call first all of our candidates. And we had to embrace tech, right? Not everyone wants to answer a number that they don't know anymore. I know lots of people that avoid that. So, right, Rachel included. So we maximized on that initiative. We took that and we thought, okay, how can we challenge ourselves to really embrace the tech era? And so we moved into a texting mentality where we'll call you, but we're going to text you too if you allow us to. And with that, we're able to share additional content that really does showcase what we want people to know about us. Because initially, when they're applying first, they might not know our expectations at Arrow or whichever senior living industry they're going into. So with the tech era, we had to embrace TikTok. And we started to make different TikTok recruitment videos that specialized either showcasing our nurses where they did some testimonials and tutorials for us. We had some really awesome content related to our culinary team to show the differences on the cuisine and culinary expectations that we have, because we really do have a full restaurant suite when you come into our communities. And from there, we really want to have intimate connections with everyone we're speaking with. So we want to build up what it's like at Arrow, and we want to include some of our own culture questions. So it kind of goes into our core values a little bit. As Mandy mentioned, the power of a chuckle is my favorite one. But we'll ask questions about, how do they like to have fun in the workplace? Because we're working in someone's home, and it's really important for us to have fun at the end of the day. And everyone's version of fun might be different, but I want to bring the right fun to you, knowing what you like, how you like to embrace it. We'll also ask them items regarding how they like to have transparency in the conversations. So people receive feedback differently, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right way to give them feedback when we're doing our trainings, when we're doing our follow-ups, when I'm doing my shout outs to them, how they like to feel appreciated. So those are some of the really great aspects of kind of bringing our culture to the interview experience. I think Mandy was going to add something in there.
So when it comes to core values, like, this is the heart and soul of what Arrow Senior Living is. We have our core values. This is what we're asking our employees, our residents, everyone we come in contact with to live up to these core values. Every single day, we each have our own. We can sit here and we can recite them. I'm sure Stephanie can sit there and recite them. Chantel can recite them. Rachel, they've just been drilled into us. But it's not just reciting them that we're looking for. I can sit here and say that that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the actions that go with it, the day in and day out. How are you a dedicated and loyal team member of Arrow Senior? How are you having a chuckle? Are you fascinated, not frustrated? This is what we're looking for when we're looking at those core values. And a lot of times in that interview process, we'll have employees, potential employees that we're interviewing, that hit on those key words without even knowing our core values. And I think Chantel was going to hit more on that.
Absolutely. Our core values do define the fabric of who we are here at Arrow Senior Living. And so when we're talking through core values, we're also talking about traditions, right? And how we have our tradition programming. Many people would think, oh, traditions is just for the residents. Those events are not for me. But we are so different here at Arrow Senior Living, and we are trying to move the needle forward. So we also include our staff in our traditions planning and events as well. So this is a part of, our culture. It's not about us saying this, but we want the true actual employee engagement that goes with it. And from there, you can also see this on our TikToks, as Stephanie referenced. You can see this on our Facebook pages. We even have our own YouTube channel. So I think we're not experts yet, but we are trying to lay the standard and foundation for what senior living truly looks like, really in our traditions programming as well.
My favorite interview philosophy has always been the fact that we hire for hearts. I always make my little heart symbol whenever we're in an interview, because we do value those soft skills that I can't force somebody to have. I can't force you to be compassionate, and I can't force you to have empathy. That's going to be innate to you. But I can take that and I can really make you a pretty awesome care partner with the right skills and training program. So that's something that I think is very unique in how we recognize a good candidate walking through the door, or a resume that's given to us. They might not have the 10 years experience behind them. They might have just graduated college with a degree in gerontology, and they're like, just give me a chance. And that's what's going to draw us in initially is, okay, you're interested in us. We see the value in that. How can we help to upskill you further? I like to always say we don't give jobs, we grow careers. That's really kind of our intention. We want to put that investment behind you, just like they invest into our residents.
That is so true, Stephanie, that we do hire for heart and culture too, right? I think it was in an article in Forbes magazine back in April that talked about the 4 mindset shifts for hiring managers when interviewing Gen Z candidates. And so there is a paradigm shift that is happening within the work industry, not just, hospitality, but here with us in senior living as well. And I think what we do well here at Arrow is that we let go of that this is how it's always been type of mentality. And we are very open. We do look to our core value of transparency, building trust when we're in that interview, really speaking with those candidates so they feel welcomed and having a sense of belonging as they are trying to search the work industry.
I love that. And I love everything you guys have been talking about, like the hire for heart. I think, yeah, Stephanie, I was a little gerontology grad you all took a chance on. So I just love that. And kind of realizing like you don't have to have all the qualifications right away. Like there is a learning period. So that's really awesome. I did
I'll put a little plug into that, Rachel. I'm going to put a little plug because sometimes like you come in, you're that care partner. Arrow's growth stories are tremendous. The four of us right here, all four of us right here have a growth story where we started off in a community and have grown in that capacity. So it's endless of what people want to do with our industry. Like you come in, you do one thing, and that's maybe not where you end up. All of us have that same story right here.
So true, Mandy. I was actually at one of our communities yesterday and had the opportunity to see one of our staff members who came to us as a housekeeper, and she's an LPN now working at one of our communities. Shout out to Kent Ridge Senior Living. So, I mean, you are absolutely right. We hire for heart, but we also do grow within too. So that's a wonderful benefit that we have, and we're trying to continue to set the standard for.
For sure. I love that. I apologize. My internet froze a little bit, but I definitely agree. Obviously, my story, I started as an intern. So I think we all have that background for sure, but that's great. Stephanie, were you going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to kind of lead into our job fair discussion because we do lots of hiring events and we love to throw a good job fair. So whenever we do our job fairs, something that's really important to us, really at the end of the day, is we want it to be an experience. We're not the type of company that's going to have people come in, have an interview, goodbye, shake hands. That's just not who we are innately. It's just not. So we really want to put the value behind the building connections, but not just with us. We'll build it with our leadership team, but we also want to have moments of opportunity to have engagement with our residents directly, as Mandy had mentioned previously in the interview process. So our residents will work different little stations that we have set up, whether it be a craft station, whether it be little tattoos that we're going to put on, any capacity we can utilize them, including the one and only beach volleyball games. So every time we have a job fair at one of our buildings, we like to showcase beach volleyball. Now, whenever we do this, I love to go MC these games because the look on the candidates' faces is confusion. They're like, I came in for an interview. I'm staring at a volleyball net. Am I in the right spot? And I promise them every time you are. But I also like to emphasize, why did we bring that into our interview process? Well, because you're going to see this day to day with our residents. They compete against other communities. There's team names, there's shirts, there may be trash talk on the court. And you know what? We embrace it. We want them to have fun, and we want these potential candidates to hires to have the same fun with them. To watch that candidate pool go from am I in the right space to sitting there getting super competitive, shouting for the resident to do a good job and hit that ball, or telling them that it's okay because they missed going over the net. Those are those small pieces in our interview process where I now got to evaluate somebody in a totally different light. I like to call it the nonverbal interview, because I can do an interview and have those direct moments of connection, but there's so much value to see the person behind who they are without being put on the spot to tell me why they're a great employee. And that's what I love that we maximize on at our job fairs. Mandy's always the referee. So she's coming in with her referee top and her whistle, and it's phenomenal. She's such a good referee.
I'm going to say it gets a little competitive sometimes. One, I mean, like the residents are competitive. And then two, we got some competitive employees out there. I love it.
I was going to say, Mandy, that's why you have to be the ref, because one, you're competitive, but two, it just would be unfair if you were on a team.
When they allow me to play, I'm big middle blocker. I love it. I'm just going to say that. But I mean, like, it just loosens the vibe up too. Like, it loosens you up. They go into the interview a little bit more, okay, breathing, not so nervous. And then afterwards, like the compliments that we get, like, this is the best thing I've ever been to. That is so successful right there. It's just a successful event when we can make people leave here and say, oh my gosh, I want to work there.
Yes.
Well, you can't forget that we give them these awesome keychains, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah.
Got it. The remote control.
Yeah, our 90s keychains and a reference card. So this is my favorite one. I keep it hanging in my office.
That's what I think. We need to highlight that a little bit more, is the job fairs are not like what you would normally think. You're setting up a little table at a job fair and somebody's standing there. Like, they're a big party. And it's funny because you think of, I mean, normally when we think of human resources, no offense, but it doesn't sound fun. And so you guys make it super fun. And so talk a little bit more about the decorations and the vibe and everything. I mean, this year's theme, as she said, 90s, is really cool.
Yes. So we have actually been putting a lot of energy into how we present ourselves, again, to give the experience whenever we're conducting a job fair. So I'm actually going to take a step back to a couple in the past that we have done. So about 2 years ago, we did the How Can You Say No to the Space theme, which is the t-shirt that I'm referencing. And that was using one of our residents who's absolutely adorable at our Ohio location. I remember going into that job fair having no idea that the person on my shirt lived there. And I'm standing there and she walks up to me. She just comes right up with her little finger and she goes, "That's my face." And I loved how excited she was. Now, everyone that's part of this event is wearing these shirts. I should have got her autograph. That's the one takeaway I wish I would have had, is her autograph. But we were kind of going into an up theme. We were really doing bright balloons, big color, big balloon archways. And it was our way to really kind of captivate an audience to see, like, what is going on at that building over there. They look like they're having a great time. And as you mentioned, Rachel, we have all these different stations set up. We have cuisine. We showcase our restaurants and the cuisine that they can bring to you. We do complimentary meals per shift. So why not showcase the cuisine a little bit? We have those those crafts and game stations, so that engagement moment with the residents. The crafts have ranged from tie-dye. Back in that theme, we were doing tie-dye t-shirts, then we did tie-dye totes. That was a really big kickoff to see the residents make some really good tie-dye for starters. I think they did better than I ever did on any of my shirts. So I started having them make them for me. They were amazing. And then we had these referral cards that we bring out. So our referral cards are a way for us to showcase either a resident experience or an employee experience. Yes, we all love them. With that, I have to, Mandy. I just have to. There you go, everyone. I had it ready. This is my shout out to marketing. I absolutely love when I'm at a job fair or a career fair at a college. When I have these students coming up to our table, they're always so surprised to see how colorful and vibrant our table is, because we aren't just rolling out a tablecloth with our name and just giving away some pens. We want them to ask us questions. We want to see who they are. Again, the human behind the employee. And when I get to tell them that everything on my table, every vision that they have is a true resident experience or employee experience, I see a jaw drop. They're like, "Really?" And I'll start to name. And I'm like, "Yeah, this is Mandy. She's one of my peers. This is somebody over at an Ohio location." And I get super excited about it. The year after we did the up theme, we switched to a Let's Flamingo theme. Palm Springs, hot pinks, bright greens went over very well. We had an executive director at a job fair come out in an inflatable pink flamingo costume. Every candidate, I think, fell to the floor. We were laughing so hard. So we like to see how everyone embraces it. We like to come with a vision, and then our communities just thrive. They just harness it way further than we could have even imagined. So then we came to this year where we wanted to bring the 90s back. So Saved by the Bell, French Prince of Bel Air was our inspiration. Yes, we have a very big inflatable cell phone like Zach Morris had back in the day. Everyone likes to take pictures of it, but we have selfie walls. You know, like, we're having these moments where I can take this group. We've known each other for maybe 30 minutes. And now you're sitting here taking a selfie with me with a fake mustache. You're going to go away from that experience remembering us. that is truly all our goal ever is. We want to find good people that want to come and work for us, but I really want them to remember us and have hopefully leave with a different vision of senior living than maybe they've ever been exposed to before because they came to a job fair.
I think our job fairs, really showcase our inclusivity and sense of belonging, because we really do want to be a great place to live and a great place to work. I think our job fairs are not just the typical job fairs; they are traditions as well. Like we do a traditions kind of event for our job fairs. Not just that, but orientation too as well. I think Mandy was going to jump in and talk about the orientations and how it is not a typical orientation. It's like an event that truly happens to have fun.
It is each department getting to show the culture of Arrow Senior Living through their department. It's not just listening to me. Rachel, you kind of hit on it earlier, where when people think of HR, they think of, I don't want to go to Mandy's office. And if they ever felt that way with the community as me, it's the BOD, I mean, they learn quickly, like, oh, yes, she has that serious side. Yes, there are the serious moments, but for the most part, it's the fun, down to earth type things. But that's what our orientation does, is it's each department showcasing, yes, we're slipping in all the educational pieces that have to be done as well, but we're doing it in a fun, vibrant way where people learn that way as well. It's not just, oh, what was the Charlie Brown's teacher, wah, 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 wah. It's not like that. Our orientations are fun. They're engaging. And if you know anything about Arrow Senior Living, we like to feed people.
And it's another place we play beach ball at orientation too. So
yes, the residents really love that. They always know Thursday is on the calendar. We're having an employee orientation. They are coming down ready to go.
That's awesome. Chantal,
no, I was just going to say we definitely like to love with food. I think I stole that from Kayla Barlow. I'm like, we have to use this everywhere. We talk about it in traditions and HR everywhere. We love to love with food. If we're not eating, it's not right.
Right. I love it. And I think you guys have done a great job of talking about how, translating culture to prospective employees. But I'd love to talk, I know we talked a little orientation, but I'd love to talk a little bit more about like, what does that look like then once they are our employees? Like, what are our town hall meetings like? Do we still continue that fun? Mandy, I don't know if you want to touch on this.
I can touch on this. So retention is a key thing. Like, we understand that someone that has applied for our position can go right down the road and apply somewhere else. So as we are attracting them, they're interviewing us as well. So why do they want to come work for us? So the retention is going to play a part. Like, once they're part of our family and we're training them their skills, like, why do they want to stay with us? So one thing that I am proud that Arrow does is we do a CFU. What is a CFU? A creative follow-up. This is where we weekly do a challenge for our BODs, assistant EDs, to do something fun and creative with either an individual, a group, or the whole team. It oftentimes ties into our traditions that we do often. Like for the month of June, we are going to be celebrating Pride Month. We will be having a little CFU week long where each day we're wearing a different color of the rainbow. We're also going to be a CFU this month will be Juneteenth, another tradition that we will be celebrating. And then it can even be up to like little individual things of, I noticed that it's Nurses Week, or not Nurses Week, it's Nurses Assistance Week. Not the words we use by any means, but care partners. We're going to be celebrating our care partners one week. But it's just doing those little bitty things. It's stocking the break room with snacks. But it's also finding out, like, okay, those are my favorite snacks. Let's do a survey and see what other type of things people want in there. It's so many different things that we do on a monthly, weekly basis. One thing that I like to showcase is town hall. So if a town hall is done right, what is a town hall, you might ask? This is our educational one time a month where we all get together as a team to discuss what's going on in our community. There's key points that we have to do, but a town hall should be like, it's one time a month party for our employees where we get to throw a party. We're going to celebrate birthdays. We're going to celebrate anniversaries, because it's a big deal for somebody to work 1 year in senior living. It's a big deal for those 2 years, 10 years. It's like a big deal. We're going to celebrate those moments. Then we're going to slide the educational piece in there and get all that done too that we need to do. But it's vibrant, it's fun, it's food, it's all of those things. Like, why do people want to continue to come work for us? They love the residents, they love the atmosphere. Let's chuckle, let's have fun together. 8 to 12 hours a day.
I like to add for the CFU portion too, we do have our challenges, our monthly, weekly challenges, but there's also kind of a deeper value I find in the CFUs because we also celebrate someone's highs and their lows. Whether that be you're getting married or you bought your first house, so we sent you a wreath on the front door. Maybe somebody is having a hardship. Maybe there's an illness in the family or somebody just had to say goodbye to a loved one. So those are the other items that we do want to show our love and support for. And we have kind of a dedicated team that will showcase in that way, which I think is very, very special. Myself included, we're a very pet-friendly organization. We bring our pets to work. And I had lost my little one 2 years ago. I was dedicated dog mama for 14 years. And they had sent me a little keychain with his face engraved on it and with a little kind of note stating he'll always be with you. And it's something I never expected. It totally tugged at my heartstrings. But it really showed kind of the commitment that we like to have with our employees, and highs or lows, we're going to be there.
I love that. I think it is so true. I was thinking about the pet one exactly when you were talking, and not everybody, I remember in college, actually, a professor warned me, you can be friendly with your coworkers, but you're not friends. And I realized that Arrow, you can be friends. Like, it's different. We are like family. We know each other. And you do know those things about people, the highs and lows, which is really special. So I love that.
It's family serving family. Like, we are family serving our family. And then together, all of us working together, our family. One key thing when I was in a community, I worked very closely with the resident service director, Kayla Barlow. And if any of you guys have ever met Kayla Barlow, it is glitter bombs of joy every single day with her. But we would partner together. If she was doing something for the residents, I was doing it for the employees. And together it was one big party together for the community.
And I can attest, I was there when they were both there, and it was always one big party. So I love it. And if you haven't seen in the comments, Mandy, Kayla's been hyping you up this whole time. I love it.
Oh, Kayla Barlow, you gotta love her.
That's awesome. Well, ladies, we're almost running out of time. Are there any closing thoughts you kind of want to touch on before we go?
Absolutely. We just want to make sure that we say thank you for coming to hear what we had to say today as we continue to set the standard. But I gotta do a plug for June traditions as well. So not just Juneteenth or not just Pride, because we are excited about those, but follow one of our community Facebook pages because they're going to be showing you Father's Day and how Father's Day is not just for the residents, it's for our staff too. And our Alzheimer's Brain Awareness Month, learning through dementia in the different forms. So they will have so many educational items listed on their Facebook pages. So I encourage you all to go and look at those and give us a like on Facebook.
I love it. That's perfect.
And as someone once said, I had to share, in senior living, the search for the right place is really just the search for the right people. This is us, and this is our story.
Guys, I think we did it.
We did it. Thank you so much. I'm just so glad you guys were here with me today. And next week, we'll have the wellness team on with us. So look forward to that. And I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.
Bye.